All right, we are live. I'm going to post it in the chat. All right. As always, brought to you by Ian Huss, local mortgage guy. If you need anything mortgage wise, see Ian. You can check the flyer here. We always appreciate Ian doing what he does for us, and make sure you take care of him. Okay, so we got Cliff and Todd from One Nation. If you guys could just tell me who you guys are in relation to One Nation, and we'll start there.
Yeah, Cliff Majni, one of the owners. Been doing softball for about 12 years now, so it's been a long road. It's a good one though.
And then Todd, you still there? Yep. Todd, can you hear us?
Sledge says he can't hear us.
Okay. I wonder if I can on stage add. Any better? Can you hear us now, Todd? Okay. Cliff told you on mute.
Cliff, you want to tell everybody a little about Todd?
Todd joined us about 4 years ago now, and he's in charge of all of our communications, a lot of our advertising, a lot of our social media. He handles all the analytics on what works, what doesn't work, and and he's our voice. So he's a vital part for us, and he's a wonderful teammate.
Yeah. So we appreciate having you guys on. Humbled to have the owner of One Nation come on, as well as Todd, who I believe is the vice president. Is that correct? Is that his title?
Yes.
Really appreciate you guys coming on. So we came up with a list of questions for you guys. So what's new with One Nation? Is there any new rules? Is there any new tournaments?
As far as what's new, it's pretty much status quo. We're launching a new softball mojo. We're using that new Super Duper Extreme. All the other Bulldog Extremes are still good. You can still use them, but nationally we're changing over to like the Super Duper, which is a new ball for Worth, and we're real excited. It's a little safer ball through the infield, but still has the carry, to still hit your home runs. So we tested it for a couple months, and all the guys seem to like that a lot. So we're really excited about that, and just a lot of growth throughout the whole country. I mean, we've added some key partners not only in the Midwest but in the South and like the West too. So we're primed for a really good year. It's exciting.
Good.
Yeah.
Excited to try that out. Are you guys going to use that? When is that kicking off? Is it the next tournament or is it now?
The Super Duper Ball?
Yeah.
Yeah, that opens up at the Mojo weekend.
Okay.
That's the first time people can use it. So.
Okay. And can they use either ball, or do they need to specifically use that
They
one?
can use either ball. Yeah. Any One Nation Extreme ball, stamped Extreme, or the Super Duper ball.
Okay.
The cold weather this time, you can't tell the difference anyway. But,
No.
but that ball's really made for the heat. So when it gets real humid, you'll it will still fly. It sort of absorbs the heat. So it'll work a lot better for all our members. A lot better.
Good. Todd, you there?
I'm here if you can hear me. I'm not, I do this for a living, and I'm having all kinds of technical problems.
I was all nervous about me, Todd.
No, I'm good.
So we just went over the new ball, what's new with One Nation, and now we're going to talk about Cincinnati and One Nation. Talk about you guys trying to bring One Nation to Cincinnati and how that's going, and if you have any tournaments here locally.
Yeah, we our first tournament in Cincinnati is at Mid America Ballpark on March 30th. It's just a one-day tournament, a real small event to sort of get our feet wet. We're real excited to work with Mid America and Brian. We're still finalizing our dates, but what's tournaments like the City Slam and the Cincy Major, we're finalizing all those as we speak. So we should have those dates and all the information, within the next couple of days.
Where can we find that?
What's that?
Where can we find that at?
We'll have it on all our social media and also on like our websites, and
Okay.
and we'll share it on your page too if that's acceptable. So,
Absolutely. Yep, that's what it's for.
yeah, we're real excited. I mean, we have about 6 or 7 dates there this year, and as soon as we get all that done, we're really excited to get back down there.
Awesome.
Well, Cliff, I also want to mention, and I think we're still doing that. I haven't heard any changes. We still have the King of the Hill, out with our partner that we joined last year.
Yeah, out of Flash Park, which is a wonderful park, and we had a great turnout there. So we're excited about coming back there for our second year.
I've heard good things. I've never been out there myself, but I'm excited to check it out.
It's a really cool park. It's in the middle of the woods. They got a great restaurant in there. There's ponds everywhere. It's a great scenery. I mean, it's one of the best softball sceneries I've seen in a long time. It's really nice.
Yeah, really nice. It's kind of a lot of throwback elements to it. You're real close to the fields. Just a great atmosphere. And if you go to the King of the Hill page, the One Nation King of the Hill page, you can see some of the pictures that we took from last year. There's actually an upper level mezzanine that you look down onto the fields. That's pretty impressive amongst the 4-field complex area that they have amongst their dozens or so fields.
Yeah, we had 87 teams there last year and only one Cincinnati team. So, we're expecting a good turnout.
Yeah,
should be good.
Well,
Yeah, hey Cliff, back to City Slam. Did you say the City Slam is going to be One Nation this year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yep, we're just finalizing everything with Brian now, and within a couple of days we should have it all worked out. But it's definitely flipping over to us.
Okay. What's different about One Nation compared to some other organizations?
Far away, Todd. This is your marketing.
Well, yeah, we're very different in a lot of regards. I mean, you guys both know, our business model is a per player membership. Where we charge a fee to access, and play in the One Nation Association. So that's the major significant difference, with that. And, Cliff does a good job if players want to take advantage of the player membership discounts that we have. I mean, currently right now, there's a great one rolling with Worth. Mikan, with the backpacks with your current membership, you get an unbelievable discount on those things, plus multiple other things. I think our website with our player search capabilities and being able to see rosters and our bracketing is really great. We've got some great features coming up here in the near future with our scoring app, where instead of using a scorebook, you'll put everything into the scoring app, and it's real-time live situation where you can see top hitters, home run hitters, what people are doing during games, which is pretty cool. So, those guys that say they hit, 700 each week, we'll sort them out pretty quick with that. But, I think we bring a good brand, with the tradition of what Cliff started with GSL, with the designated home run hitter, the additional stuff we've done with the runners, and I think all of our rules are very customer friendly with things. We're always trying to evolve with stuff. I think we bring a good brand. It's exciting, to have, the rules that we have in place that I think allows more players to play with, with the entry rule that we have. And, obviously he mentioned about the ball. So, and, we really try to pride ourselves with having great venues. Columbus has been a great venue for us. We play on the turf, Myrtle Beach, down in Florida. We, bringing on Clay Hill in Kentucky. Strong program in Indiana. So I think, we set out to this to be our year. If Cliff can allow me to say that, we get to this year, this was going to be the year that we felt like that we were going to be blowing the top off of things. And I think we're in a good direction of that as well. The biggest thing I always appreciate with my partners, especially Cliff, is good prize packages. We still offer, great prize packages for our teams that participate. And then also the flexibility, somebody wants to play one weekend and their team's not playing, they can come off that roster, be added back very easily, through our system. That's completely transparent.
Is that the guest player thing I see on there when I'm adding players?
Yes. Yep. That is that function that allows, players to be able to do some of those easy things. Team might have an off weekend. They want to play something. There's some good maneuverability for that player to be able to do that.
So do I just click that link and then type the name in and request them, and then they're good for that weekend, and then they come off the next?
Yep, that's how that works. There's no interchange, really, with the directors. When you pay a membership, we try to put everything in the player manager's hands. We try to stay out of it. Obviously there needs to be governance and oversight, but you pay a membership to the gym, you expect the equipment to work, you expect the locker rooms to be clean, just like with us. You expect to have good venues, good prize packages, a good ball, good equipment, and so for the player, we want them to be able to play as much as they can under that membership.
Yep. Definitely appreciate that. And then the bats. So what's your guys' deal on the bats this year?
Well, yeah, we've stayed steady. I'll start off with this, and Cliff, you may want to conclude on it. We still maintain the 220 bat performance standard. We felt that's the way to still keep the game as exciting as it always is. Less cost for players to keep having to exchange bats, when they get past that breaking point. And we're trying to be customer friendly. Bats are not cheap. They're expensive, especially, going through those things. So, we continue to focus on the player. We want the best performance. That's why Cliff always maintains a great consistency with our partner, with Worth and Jason Kendrick, to provide a great ball and being able players to be able to swing good equipment. So, I've talked to a lot of players who have gotten rid of a bat that fails under 240, not realizing they can still use that in One Nation, So, and I think especially when you play a Burliner a lot and you get put on some of them big fields, that 220 bat really comes into good play, especially. And that's why some people well, why do you have E-teams playing on those big fields? Well, they swing 220 bats. Or the D program as well. So, we like that performance. We still think it's safe. It's good for us and it's good for our partners.
There you go.
So if I understand correctly, if you have a 240 bat and it tests 225, it's still good in your sanction?
That is correct. Yep, that is absolutely correct.
Okay. So that is definitely different than UTRIP GSL.
Yes.
Even when they were doing 220s, if you had a 240 tested 235, it was out. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
We've also made that. As a whole, we've also have made a huge step forward this year with all our bat testing. We require all our state directors to own a bat tester. Like the Mojo, this is our first year that every team will be tested. It's just we're trying to go that next step. It's a painful process. It's a huge undergo. Especially at Worlds and at the Mojo, at the Weekender, at those large tournaments to bat test everybody, but we're taking a conscious effort to make sure that the safety's there.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that. You don't want to get beat by a bat, right? That's always a concern. So
not at all, buddy. Not at all.
We don't. Yeah, we as behind the scenes, we don't want to be called to a field in a semifinals game about a bat. We just want the players to be able to play. And, I think we've got a good system in which we test all those bats. We do bat testing times. We have a good process. For those playing in the Mojo this year, you're going to get that bat tested, and that's a lot of bats to test when you got 350 plus teams competing here in a couple of weeks up at Mojo.
Gotcha. Ryan, I know I'm plowing through here. Is there anything you wanted to ask before I keep going?
No, you're good, man. Just keep it going.
Okay. So you guys mentioned Clay Hill. What's your I won't say your deal with him, but what's your connection with him now?
Yeah, Clay and I have yo, Clay. I'm sure he's watching. So Clay and I have been talking for a few years. Again, it's like when social media, a lot of people say stuff, but Clay and I have always had a mutual respect for what we did. And for about a year and a half, we just started talking on, he wanted to get better, and he was asking questions about IT and and cost, and I would share stuff with him, and vice versa. And it was a good relationship. And probably 4 or 5 months ago, we started talking, and and we just struck an agreement to where he would come aboard to One Nation. And I mean, I can't go over those details, of course, but it's turned out to be one big happy family with him. I mean, we both have our challenges because he's coming from running his own thing to where we have our way, and so we're making that work, and he's working hard at it, and so are we. And I think it's going to be a great thing in the long run for all our members.
Yeah,
a lot more softball.
Yeah. I agree. If I could add to that, I mean, it's nice to, one thing I appreciate about Clay is, I mean, obviously we all know he's outspoken, but his outspokenness also shouldn't be mirrored or confused with somebody who really does care about the game of softball. And, we like that passion, and, he came to Cliff, and we talked, and it just was a matter of, a good business dealings, and, someone that's focused on that. And, he's come out of the gate running. He had a successful tournament, here recently, and we're happy to get Kentucky back on board with what we're doing.
Yep, definitely.
So did you guys completely absorb TPA? Is that all part of One Nation now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And then the tournament next week in Mojo, the big one.
Yeah.
Come on, talk a little Mojo. So how did it get started? How did it become such a big thing?
I love this story. Come on, tell them the real story here, Cliff.
Enough people hate me already. Good Lord, this is going to get worse. When the whole GSL thing started, myself and Mark Whitty from Mojo Sports Gear, the original owner, we got together, and he was very creative. He had a very creative mind, and we started talking to Berliner about when they first had the first. I think there was 4 turf fields first, and we started the campaign to go against the Bash for Cash. And I think it was Why Play in the Mud or something like that, Todd. Was that correct?
Yeah, it might have been something like that, Cliff. Yeah.
Maybe that banner shows up once in a while down there.
Yeah.
Close. But, so we just wanted to utilize that turf complex. And so we started the Mojo Moneyball tournament in 2012. And it just blew up. It was my first tournament that I ever ran. And there was 126 teams. I had no idea. I was the only one there. I had no bracketing. I was selling balls, selling T-shirts, trying to do bracketing, trying to figure umpires, and it was a monster learning experience. And it just evolved as a monster over the years. We'll bring in 15 to 18 directors from around the country to help, 70 plus umpires. There's 340, I think 340 teams this year. We scaled it back by over 30 teams. We had to turn teams down this year because we wanted to give our members a better experience with the game times. It was getting so crazy to where we were playing till 2 a.m. You had to be back at the field at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. for an 8 o'clock game. So we scaled that way back, and there's not a game starting past 9 o'clock anymore. We're starting later in the day on Thursday to help offset costs with the hotels. But I think this year there's 27 states representing the Mojo, and that's a high watermark for us. And
yep,
it's a big deal. Teams every year, teams like this, weather sucks, we're never coming back. But, come November, they're shooting a message, hey, save me a spot. And it's just, it's a pretty exciting day. I mean, especially when there's 7,000 people in the park on Friday night for like the home run derby, the atmosphere is unmatched. When there's that many people in the park, listening to music, they might be having a couple of beers or so, and everybody's just having fun, and it's a big fellowship. It's exciting.
Yeah, it's bigger than most world, right? It's a bigger than most world. So
yeah,
I think there's more C teams in this than most C worlds. There's probably more D teams than most D worlds. So
yeah,
kudos to you guys for making this happen. And I'm sure it's not easy getting umpires, balls, everything needed. So
if people could see behind the scenes for 6 months what goes into the Mojo, they'd be really surprised, because that's why I'm 20 pounds heavier and I've got a few more wrinkles. But it's
definitely an operation.
But it's well worth it. I mean, it's to see the fellowship with the players, and just on social media now, everybody talking, haven't seen you since last year, and the social media on our Mojo page. I mean, just all the players talking and rekindling friendships. That's what softball's about, and that's what it should be about, And it's exciting to have that.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think we drew a Florida team, which was interesting. I wouldn't expect them to come up here this time of year, but they're coming up. We're playing a team from Florida, so
yeah, I think there's 6 Florida teams this year.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm excited personally about our C division. It's going to be really competitive, to say the least, and I'm very excited to see that quality of ball in Columbus, Ohio in March.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all I have for you guys. Is there anything else you guys want to cover? Or?
I'm good, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the Mojo. I mean, I'm gonna echo what Cliff said. I'm excited personally. I mean, here in my backyard to be doing some stuff in MAB. Great experiences there. Hooking back up with Brian and his crew, and looking forward to getting our product here in the Cincinnati area. As far as the Mojo goes, I mean, I'm always astonished to watch grown men come to these apparel tents and act like it's Christmas time, where they're just buying hundreds of dollars of material. And kudos to Cliff. He's pulled off something I think you don't see in our sport, where people are buying non-softball related apparel. I mean, I don't know if you saw a recent photo of one of our members, Bounce. He's got this big old quilt snuggie on with, it's got nothing to do with softball, but it's good quality material. Our D1 apparel is really good, and it's cool to see. It's cool to see that apparel around the park, and I'm just very lucky that I get to go around during the Mojo and the World Series and different stuff and capture stuff on video and photos and do all that stuff, and watch our social media stuff explode. I mean, these events will start drawing literally millions and millions of viewers from all over. They'll be commenting about things on there, so it's pretty cool.
It is cool. You guys always run a nice event. I've never been to one where it's not ran properly, so I always appreciate that when I come up there. So kudos to you guys. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you in a couple weekends.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
So big news there. One Nation.
Yeah. Bombshell right off the bat.
Yeah. Big news. So Rhino, I got the Bash Weekend 1 recap real quick, and then we'll get to our top 5, and then we'll get to these bracket reveals. That's okay with you? Yes,
sir.
Alrighty. So winner of the D, the Woodpeckers. They tried to tell us.
They played well. We drew them in our second pool play game. We played them on field 3 at MAB. Wind just howling in. Jeff Clemens hit probably a ball that didn't get over 10 foot, line drive to center field, cut it through the wind for a 3-run homer, and then later in the game he hit one about 415 through the wind, and that was the difference in the game. They got a really nice squad. They can all run, they can all hit, so they're going to be a tough out.
So I actually got the bracket up. So let's. So the Woodpeckers go 2-0. They beat you guys by 2. Soul Bros go 1-1, and New Wave goes 0-2 in that bracket. Then the other side, Players and EOS go 2-0. So I'm guessing they didn't play each other in pool play. Looks like EOS got the tiebreaker, and ended up losing to Woodpeckers in the finals. So congrats to the Peckers. And then the E, which was just a round robin setup, Henny Gang, which I think people were calling that out last week as well. Congrats to them. Nice win. Flock number 2, Cincy Freeze number 3, and then Relentless 0-2. So it was nice that some people got to play. We did not, unfortunately. It is what it is. Hopefully it works out this weekend where everybody gets to play. Okay. And then our top 5. So since we really didn't get to play last weekend, we were going to do a UC oriented one. don't worry, we'll be only a couple minutes here for those non-UC fans. All right, so how you want to do this, Rhino? You want to do the top 5 players?
So we're gonna rank our in honor of UC playing Kansas tonight. And if you're not a UC fan, then shame on you. But our top 5 favorite athletes from the University of Cincinnati in any sport. Number 5 for me is going to be Steve Logan.
Steve Logan.
Steve Logan he was it for me as far as watching him play. I would go down to the conference tournament when it was down at the U.S. Bank and just watching him completely dominate. Being a guy under 6 foot that was just as quick as lightning and could shoot the lights out. He was definitely one of my favorites.
Love me some Steve Logan. I'll go Sauce Gardner. Lockdown corner, one of the best. Probably looking at a Hall of Fame career. So he comes at number 5 for me.
4 for me is going to be Jaron Cumberland, just because I coached against him when he was a freshman at Wilmington and watched him progress from his freshman year all the way to UC. And you could just tell when he was a freshman that he was just different than everybody else. And then it transpired when he came to UC. He was the alpha for UC.
All right. Sharing secrets. So number 4 for me is Travis Kelce. Another Hall of Famer, likely. Obviously, he's become extremely popular over the last year. One of the greatest tight ends of all time. So he's number 4 for me.
3 for me is going to be Tony Pike, just because of the Pike to Benz up in Pittsburgh, man. It was unbelievable. He's a CHL guy, so a lot of respect for Mr. Pike. Plus, I listen to him daily on the radio. He's a good guy.
Jason Kelce, number 3, just retired. Probably the best center of all time. Also really gained some popularity this year, so he comes at number 3 for me.
2 is going to be, for me, Troy Copain. Watched him all the way from his freshman year to when he graduated. He was my daughter's favorite player. We had season tickets, and that was the one guy that she would cheer for the loudest. Every time his name got announced, she's on her feet cheering for him. So, love me some Troy Copain.
Number 2 for me is Sandy Koufax. Very few people know he was a UC guy. Walked onto the basketball team, got a scholarship there, and then eventually became one of the best pitchers of all time.
Number 1, Kenyon Martin.
Yep.
I feel like UC got robbed of his of a national championship when he broke his leg. But just watching him play, man, he was a man amongst boys. And I remember in 7th grade when he was deemed ineligible, and they said he was too dumb to get into UC. My teacher knew that I was a huge UC fan. She was showing me the article and telling me how UC only recruits idiots and stuff like that. So that'll forever stick in my mind that he became one of the greatest to ever come out of UC.
And then number 1, I'll go Oscar Robertson, the Big O. Most people don't know that he wasn't on those national championship teams. He was right before it. The 2 years after him, they won. So Big O, one of the best basketball players of all time. So he becomes the number 1 for me.
Yeah. So if you're listening, you're a UC fan, shoot us your top 5 in the comments.
All right. I think I accidentally shared some of these, but we'll. Which one is that? This is the C. All right. Pool C, Bash for Cash, Steve's Mo, 8 a.m., MAB Field 1, Tiger Fitness, Sports Co., MAB Field 1, 9 a.m., Steve's Elite, Corrupt, Field 2, 9 a.m., Tiger Fitness, Mo, 10 a.m., Field 1, and then Sports Co., Corrupt, 10 a.m., Field 2. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to go with Tiger Fitness to outlast the field in this one.
Okay. Just to be different, I'll go with Steve's Elite. I'm not sure if they got Jimmy back or not, but tough crew. I think they definitely have a shot at winning this pool. All right. And then we're on.
Shocked that they made them guys play at 8 a.m.
Well, no Friday night, so that's a win. We're not going multiple days. So for the D, Mafia Forever, Enemy of the State, 6:30 p.m. Friday, Field 1, and then Shockers, TCS, Field 1, 7:30 Friday night. Who do you like in this one?
I've got EOS winning that pool.
Yep, I like EOS as well. Didn't forget you guys this time. Really good team. Been a great team for years. I'm sure they'll do well this year. Kraken, pitch me 1, 6:30 MAB Field 2 Friday night. Natty Redlegs, 8, 7:30 p.m. MAB 2. Who do you like?
I don't want to pick myself, so I'll take JD Fugate and the boys with Pitch Me 1.
Oh, is that who he's with?
Yeah.
Nice. I'll take you guys in this pool. Like their pitcher, I like their defense, like their energy. So hopefully I'm right. All right. So pool C, Odd Sox, Quality Tire, Friday, Field 3, 6:30. Players, Suspects, 7:30, Field 3. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to take the Odd Sox just because I think they're the best D team around, but that's going to be a good game, that Quality Tire game.
Go. I'll take the Players. Coming off hot last week, kind of got snubbed to go to the bracket finals, so I think they'll be motivated to win this pool. Pool D, Mayhem, Soul Bros, 8 a.m. Field 2 Saturday. Team Sting, Valley Boys, 8 a.m. Field 3. Who do you like?
So we played Soul Bros last weekend. They have a ton of power. If they can keep the ball in the yard, I like them.
Hey, Bobby. I'll go with Soul Bros as well. My guy Cheese and the crew. I know Cheese really likes his team this year. He told me so. So I'll take his word, and I'll have them win a Pool D. Pool E, the Funk, Dirty Dogs, 8 a.m. Field 1 Saturday. River City West. Okay, I missed that part. And that's Pool D as well. Okay. So the Funk, Dirty Dogs, 8 a.m. River City West, Field 1. Clown Punchers, Shady Boys, River City West, 9 a.m. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to go with the Dirty Dogs in this one. I did some research on the Michigan team, the Shandy Boys. They're going to be a wild card team.
So I'll go with the Michigan team then. I didn't realize that's where they're from. They always have some interesting sanctioning. I'm assuming that's going on here as well. I can't imagine they're going to travel if they're not top notch. So I'll go with them. So that's it for the D. Pool E or Men's E, Pool A, Henny Gang, Hammer Down. It may be Field 4, 6:30 Friday night. American Made, 1st and 10, 7:30 p.m. Friday night, Field 4. And then Henny Gang, 1st and 10, and then Hammer Down, American Made. Who do you like in this one?
Henny Gang's hot. Got to go with him.
I'll do the same. Coming off the win last week. The Flock, Dark Waters, Rough Riders, in Pool B, starting at 8 a.m. MAB Field 3 Saturday, and then they played 9 and 10. So who do you like in this one?
So I did some looking at the Flock's roster. I didn't realize who all they had. I think they're going to be a top-notch E team, so I really like the Flock.
Yep, the Flock looked like they battled last weekend. I'll go with Dark Waters. I seem to pick them every week. Hopefully they get to play this week and prove me right. So I'll comment on this. So according to Cliff and Sledge, City Slam is going to be One Nation. I'll tell you, I heard something else a few days before, so I don't know. According to those guys, we'll go with what they say, and as of right now, it's One Nation according to them. So we'll go with that. Pool C, Miami Valley Anarchy Reapers, Queen City Bucks. All Pool C starting out 8 a.m. MAB Field 4. And they play 9 and 10 as well. Who do you like in this one?
I'm going to go with the Queen City Bucks.
Queen City Bucks. All right, I'll go with the Reapers. I don't know these E rosters very well. I'm going to try to get better about learning them. Pool D, Starting out 8 a.m. River City West, Field 4. Play 8, 9, and 10. Warriors, F Cancer, and I don't know how to say that. Kikabas. Who do you like in this one?
Just for namesake, I'll go Cucumbus.
Same. I remember them being really strong a few years ago. I think they got bumped to D. I'm guessing this is a slightly different team, but I'll go with them as well. Pool E, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., River City West, Field 5. Crosley Sports, Premier Chiropractic, Hitman. Who do you like in this one?
Let's go Premier Chiropractic.
All right, I will go with Crosley Sports. And then finally, 8, 9, and 10, Saturday at River City West, Field 6, Relentless versus the Zoo, and then Sandlot Boys. Who do you like in this one?
I think you have to go with the Zoo until they lose, right?
Yep. Going with the Zoo. Okay. So that is the bracket reveal. Hopefully you guys all got good games. Hopefully the full play gets play. I listened to the horse a little bit ago, and he was saying a lot of rain Thursday night into Friday. So hopefully they get the fields ready to go. Who do you like winning the C overall?
I'm going to take Tiger Fitness. Until they get beat, I think I'm just going to roll with them from here on out.
Yep, I like Tiger as well. I'm not sure if they have the Elmore brothers or not this weekend. I guess there's nothing going on One Nation, so they probably do. If they have those guys, it's going to be really tough to beat. Who do you like in the D?
So the D, I'm gonna take Quality Tire to win this in the D.
Okay.
I think they're due. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
Okay, I will go with Odd Sox. Didn't they win it last year?
I believe they did.
Going for the repeat.
Yeah, they beat Legacy, I believe, or is that what they were called last year? Legacy.
I think there was two batches, and maybe one won one, another one won another one. I'm not sure. I just remember Brian Gay in the picture holding beers or something.
No, Brian Gay with a beer?
Never heard of it.
I don't believe it.
Alrighty, and then who do you like in the E?
So I'm going to go with the Flock in the E. A guy texted me, said that they played well against the Henny gang and said they blew a big lead. So I'm going to go with the Flock.
Okay. I will go with the Zoo. I saw them play in I believe the D City Slam last year. They battled tough. I'm assuming they only got better. So I'll go with the Zoo to win the E. Oh, okay. So I guess they split with the boys. I guess the lights didn't work. I guess they're talking about Odd Sox.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So anything else you want to talk about today?
It's going to be interesting if that City Slam ends up being One Nation. I don't know whether that's going to help teams or hurt them this year. Because I don't know if teams are going to pay that sanctioning fee just to play one tournament.
Yeah, so that's one side of it. The other side would be, I think a lot of other teams from out of Cincinnati come and play this One Nation. You probably get some of those northern teams coming down, like you mentioned for the King of the Hill. There was only the one Cincinnati team, but they still had 80 teams. So I'm guessing similar situation here, right? You'll get a lot of out of town teams. So for the C division, I think it'd be a good thing. Maybe not so much for the local D and E teams. But for the C, I think we only had 4 or 5 teams in the C City Slam last year. I'm guessing now there will probably be 10, 12, 13. So that'd be good news for us. Hopefully one of the local teams win it. But yeah, that's big news if that's the case. Like I said, I talked to somebody. I got a call after the podcast last week saying, "Hey, just so you know, City Slam was going to be a U-Trip," and then they said today that's going to be One Nation. So they're working with Brian. So I believe what those guys are saying. So big news.
Now, is the band Suncoast, I believe that's still legal in One Nation.
Yeah, I meant to ask them that. I don't know. I think it is as well. I can't comment. I meant to ask it, so I apologize for missing that.
One of the main reasons that and it's selfish on my part, but I was a part of the very first City Slam when it was U-Trip, so it's kind of sentimental for me. Plus, very rarely do you have the Amish coming down here for the City Slam, so we know what kind of buzzsaw that brings.
I haven't beat, or my teams have not beat many Amish teams, so I know exactly what you mean. I think my team might be like 1-10 or something like that. And one Amish team that my team beat was a D team when we were a pretty good C team. So tough to beat.
Yeah.
They don't stop. They play defense. They usually play a 4-man. Tough. It's still tough to get through the infield with their 4-man. And then you got those 4 fast outfielders. There's not a whole lot of spots to put the ball, and then they run and they never stop running. So always tough. Anything else?
No, man. I'm hopefully this rain holds off and we can get a full tournament in this weekend.
You guys in the Mojo? We'll talk about it next week.
We are not. So our team doesn't really do the whole One Nation thing just because of sanctioning. We kind of feel like a lot of the C players are sanctioned D plus and stuff like that in One Nation, and we just don't feel like we've got the power to compete with those teams. But I mean, it's not a perfect world, so it is what it is.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thanks to Ian Huss for sponsoring us every week. Like and subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, but definitely helps us out. Once we get to 500, I'll raffle off some of the BB's Bruce Bolts. Once we get to 1,000, I can get you guys some jerseys, or if you guys would rather me raffle off a bat, I can do that too. Just to get it up to 1,000, and at that point we start making money, and just more interested to see where it goes. So appreciate everybody. Appreciate you, Rhino. Appreciate those One Nation guys. See you next week.
Yes, sir. Good luck to everybody this weekend.
Thank you.